Hi, so today I am making some bitters. Sometimes you hear them called digestive bitters, but bitters help to stimulate digestion. They help to secrete all of the digestive enzymes so that you can better absorb your nutrients. If you see things like undigested food in your stool, if you have gas and bloating after your meals, sometimes digestive bitters can help with that. Now they're called bitter because they're very bitter. And we don't really like bitter foods here in the U.S. I think in some countries they do eat more bitter foods. But I think actually worldwide everybody's eating more and more sweet. Like our apples are even hybridized to be sweeter than they were several years ago. We like those really sweet fruits. But we really need to be eating some of these bitter foods. So some things that you can do are just chew on some bitter greens before a meal, while you're preparing your meal. That can help. Or you can use something like this, digestive bitters. So I am going to be making mine with, this is what is this? This is 40% alcohol or 80 proof. If you have a 100, 190? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, the more alcohol per volume, the less water. And I'm using all dried ingredients. So I do want some water in there. So if this was almost all like a grain alcohol, then I would need to add a little bit of water to rehydrate these and then add my alcohol. But if I use an 80 proof or 40%, it's going to add enough water to hydrate and have enough alcohol to extract the nutrients that I need and preserve it so that it doesn't go bad. So I have burdock root here. Burdock is also a blood cleanser. It's wonderful for detoxification, and it is bitter. So I just put 2 tablespoons of that. I have 2 tablespoons of dandelion roots. Dandelion is wonderful for the liver and the gallbladder and cleansing, and it is also very bitter. And you could use the leaves as well. Then I have some fennel seed. Fennel is wonderful for gas and bloating, doing 2 tablespoons of that. And then I have lemon peel. We all know how bitter that is, and it's high in some vitamins as well. And then I'm adding a tablespoon of orange peel. So both of these are wonderful for detoxification and cleansing, but also as bitters. So I end up just shy of half. So I think I'll do another round. I don't want to fill it up too high. 2 tablespoons there. 2 tablespoons here. 2 tablespoons. And sometimes people will add other things like cinnamon and clove just to give it a little tastier flavor. But I'm going all the way bitter. I want all of the bitter that I can get to help with this digestive aid. So you can see it's a little bit more than half full. I don't want to fill it up any more than that because it's dried. They're going to swell up. So I'm going to, let me move everything out of the way so you can see. I'm going to cover everything. This is a nice sterile jar. Let me grab a knife to stir it with. I'm using a knife to stir it just to make sure that they don't swell and get stuck on the bottom. You can see they already swelled up a lot. It's a really pretty color. You could always add more orange peel or more lemon peel if you'd rather have that flavor. Alright, I'm going to add some more. I want it completely submerged, but I also need to give it some room to keep expanding. So while that is expanding a little bit more, let me get my label. We have to make sure we label, because even if you think you're going to remember what it is, you end up with something like this and you go, what was that? This is my ashwagandha that I made the other day. You don't have to have fancy labels, so they are kind of fun. But it's useful if you make several different types of tinctures, extracts, and things, to write what medium you used. Like this is a vodka or an alcohol. instead of vinegar or something like that. So I'm going to just write bitters, alcohol, and I'm going to write today's date. Because I'm going to, once I cover it, I'm going to let it sit here on the counter where I'll walk by and give it a good shake and let it sit for at least 2 weeks, preferably 4 to 6 weeks. All right, let's see if I can stir it a little bit more. All right. Add a little bit more vodka to the top. And then I'm going to put parchment paper on. And then my lid, just because I want to make sure that it doesn't corrode the lid. I don't want any rust or anything in there. There we go. Give it a nice shake. Oh, I smeared my label, but here are our bitters, and I'll let it sit, and then in a month I will strain it, and I'll put it in some dark glass bottles like this with a dropper, and I'll just squeeze 1 dropper full 15 minutes before my meal. Anyway, I hope this helps you on your herbal journey. If you've had bitters before, you make your own bitters, please let me know. Let me know your techniques and what you like to use. I'd love to hear from you. Enjoy!